Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see how to develop a minimum API. So what is minimum API? Whenever we start a new language, we run a hello world program. So like this we are going to run a hello world program in Node.js using Express framework. So I wrote an article about the API. So what is an API? So I provide the link in the video description. You can see here, this is a API working concept diagram I wrote for just for the understanding. So this is our physical device. In order to get the data from the database, we have to go through the path to get the data. So let's see how it's work. So in the physical device, we have to first go to the internet. You can see here, this is the internet channel. So then we have to go to the HTTP. Then we have to go to the address. Just see, this is the address. Sometimes it can be a port number, I mean the IP address. Then the request methods. There are some methods here, get, post, and delete, fetch, and put as well. So after that, this will go to the server through the port number. Which port number inside the server? After that, the server go to the database and fetch the data and come back and return the data to our physical device, which means our front-end device. Now we can start our coding progress. So I'm going to open the VS Code. Now I navigate to the directory which I created before, which called NodeJS tutorial. In order to start the Node.js project, we have to type npm init. So init means initialize the project. So I just hit enter. I just expand the terminal here. So it's asking the package name. So here, while naming the package, you have to give the lowercase. So I'm giving the lowercase as like project. So tutorial. I just hit enter. So after that is asking the version number. So I just hit enter. So it will take the version as 1.0.0. After that I want to give the description. For here I don't like to give a description. If you guys want, just give a description about the project. We have to type the entry point. Asking the entry point as index.js. I just keep it as it is. Test command. I just hit enter. Then git repository. For now I don't like to continue with the git. After that I will do a separate video for that one because that will confuse you guys. I just hit enter. Keywords, no other. I just give the author name as my name, Prasad. So license, so I'm going to keep the default license. So I hit enter. So it's asking one question, is it okay? I just hit enter. You can see here package.json, all the information which I given before, they all come here. So now I am going to type npm install serve express. You can see here npm is a node project manager. So I'm going to install dash serve mean that will create an entry here. Then after that the framework which I used to develop the API, that's called express. I just hit enter. If you guys get any error, which means your node project manager is not installed successfully, so please try to check what went wrong. So in my case I installed node project manager perfectly, so that's why I didn't get any of the errors. So you can see here, after I run the npm install dash save express, that will create the node project modules and package log.json. You can see here our package.json, our main file is a index.js. So in order to start the program we have to create the index.js file. So I'm going to create new file, or you just can click here to create the files. So I'm going to type index.js, hit enter. So this is our main file to write the program. In order to communicate to the server we have to go through the paths. So the first one is a HTTP. In JavaScript, in order to declare the variables, we can use constraint, let, and var. So in this case I'm going to use the constraint const HTTP. So I'm getting this HTTP library from require HTTP. So after that, you can see here the second parameter is address. As of now, I am going to run this application in my localhost. So I am going to give my computer port number. So I just creating a port number. So I am giving the port number as 4000. If we run our application in localhost, 4000 or 6000, the whatever the port number which is available for you run your localhost, that is fine. If you host your application into the server, then you have to take the internal port number in order to achieve that one, or process env dot port. I'm going to delete this one. Here I'm going to create one server, const server. I'm creating server from the HTTP. Create server. Create server is a function. Inside the function, we have to pass a listener. So in this case, we not yet create any of the listener. In order to create the listeners, I'm going to create one folder called app.js. In the app.js, I'm going to import the express. Then I call the express as a function. Express one method called use app.use. Here I am passing one slash. Here the response. Then I have to set the status code for the response. Response status code is 200. After that, 200 means success code. Then I'm going to call a JSON. Inside the JSON, as a message, I'm going to type the string hello world. After that, I want to export this app. In order to export the app, I have to type module export, then the app. So whenever we call the app.js class, that will export this app. Here I'm going to pass the app, but in order to pass the app, I have to declare the app path app require. Then I have to pass the file name app. I don't need to pass the JS because this is JavaScript. It automatically take everything as a JavaScript. I'm calling the server dot listen. So here I want to pass the port number. In my case, port number is 4000. So I pass the port number here. In order to create a minimum API working program in the Node.js, we have these important things. First one is a HTTP. Second one is a listener. Third one is a port number. Fourth is a server. Then we have to tell our server to listen this port number. I'm going to run our program. In order to run our program, I have to type node, then our base file name. In our case, base file name is index.js. So we can't see any of the output here because our server is currently running. So I'm going to the Postman. So here I am going to create one collection. I'm going to name the collection as NodeJS tutorial. Hit enter. After that, here our collection is created. I just click here. you can see add request. This is a Postman. So if you guys need to the Postman, just listen carefully. So here we have to pass the URL. Here we have to pass the method. So in my case, that's a get method, and my port number which I gave before, that's a 4000. So http localhost, then the port number. So I just send a request. You can see here message which saying hello world, so which means our server is up and running. So successfully we finished hello world application. This is my YouTube channel. If you guys like the video, just hit subscribe button and like the videos.